Hello, everyone. President Blair, Speaker Hanshaw, Craig, Roger, and all the members of the West Virginia Legislature, thanks for allowing me to be with you. You know, the last, 15 months now have been really tough on all of us. I hope and pray that you haven't lost loved ones yourself, but with all of that, many have. 2,800 plus people in West Virginia have lost their lives. We've lost a lot of wisdom. And absolutely in all of that, we did keep our economic engine running. And we were able, with that economic engine, to come through last year with a real surplus. And now this year, as we're ending the year, we have an absolute monumental surplus. With that, you were kind enough to appropriate $150 million for our highways and our roads. We're going to fix a lot of stuff in all 55 counties, and we're going to make life better for all of our people in those 55 counties. Now, with all that being said, now we have an additional $250 million that we're seeking appropriation from you on. We're doing all kinds of stuff all across the park, and I've had a lot of experts weigh in on what they thought were the projects that would best help all West Virginians. Now with that, there's all kinds of expansions of our state parks. There's absolutely the commitment to finish rebuild the Anthony Correctional Center. We put real money in it and appropriated that money and set that money aside last year, half of the money, $15 million. We've got to go on and finish that. It's so important. We absolutely have to make a real commitment to our newest national park, a national park, the New River National Park and everything that's coming into play. We need to absolutely move ourselves forward economically there. You know, from the standpoint of finishing the funding for the MARC train or absolutely doing more trail expansion in the Elk River, to fixing the roofs that are absolutely all to pieces in our corrections and everything, to absolutely making a real commitment to the first responder death fund, and absolutely on top of all that, we can all be proud and rest easy that with 50 million of these dollars, we're going to top off our rainy day fund in West Virginia at $1 billion, and then at that point in time, it is completely secured and everything. There's so much goodness that we've absolutely had happen over the last years and everything, when really and truly, with your leadership, with our leadership, we've been able to get there. We've been blessed with surpluses at a time that were really tough. So you're going to hear from a bunch of other folks here today that are going to talk to you about all the things that are going on. But I thank you. I thank you for coming back. I thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I welcome you to call me at any time, at any hour, and everything with any problem that you may have. And I promise you, I won't come running, but I'll come walking real fast. My knees won't let me run now, but I'll come walking real fast. Listen, I thank all of you. I thank all of you for making the commitment to stand up and serve and everything. It is absolutely a gigantic commitment. So thanks again for all you do each and every day, and I hope to see you real soon.
Governor Justice has divided the $250 million budget surplus into 21 different initiatives to keep West Virginia and its economy on the move. A few of those projects include expansions to our state parks, upgrades to the Elk River Trail, and funding for economic development near the newest national park in the country, the New River National Park. Tourism Secretary Chelsea Ruby says previous park investments are already paying dividends, and the time to build on that growth is now.
We've seen a complete transformation at our state parks. Just 4 years ago, we needed so much maintenance. We didn't have an online reservation system, and we weren't doing hardly any marketing. Today, we have a world-class system, one of the very best in the nation. We're seeing exponential increases because of the investments we've made in upgrading all of our facilities the online reservation system, and the new marketing campaign. But because of all that, we need more capacity. We've got more folks than we can handle right now. So the appropriation request that we have in is to do just that. It's to build our capacity in places where we need it. So we'll be adding additional campsites because campgrounds are up almost 200%. We'll be adding new parking lots in places that are really crowded right now. We'll be acquiring more of the Elk River Rail Trail and several other much needed repairs, including replacing every bathhouse in the system. We're so excited about this, and we think this is a way to continue our growth here in West Virginia. With the new national park designation, we're seeing great increases to travel and tourism in the region. We're already up over 20% in visitation in that area just with the name change. But with that name change brings a lot of new recognition to the area. We think we have a real opportunity to go out and find private investors who can help us make that area even bigger and better. So this fund will allow us to do just that. It'll allow us to compete with other areas around the country and try to bring in somebody to make that place even more special than it already is.
Governor Justice is requesting $30 million of the surplus money to be added to a closing and site development fund administered by the State Economic Development Authority. Economic Development Secretary Mitch Carmichael explains how this fund will put us ahead of other states when it comes to job opportunities.
It's very important for West Virginia to have the tools in place to compete for new jobs in a new economy that is emerging. Many other states have a closing fund. In fact, most other states have a closing fund. Some have used it to great advantage. The governor and the state legislature have done a great job of guiding West Virginia through this difficult time. And during this period, the eyes of a grateful nation really have been focused upon West Virginia, but the manner in which we've attracted so much positive attention. Now is the time. There's never been a better time to use these assets and advantages that we have to attract new jobs and new opportunities for our state, and a closing fund is so vitally important to do that because we're really at a competitive disadvantage when other states have these funds that are, again, just used for things that close that funding gap, and we're seeing other states are so successful with it. When West Virginia has the tools and we're on a competitive level playing field, we will win every time. Our fund is relatively modest and we'll use it to great advantage.
After years of deferred maintenance at the state's jails and prisons, West Virginia finally has the funding available to complete much needed repairs. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Jeff Sandey talks about why funding is needed for upgrades to our jails and prisons and to rebuild the Anthony Center in Greenbrier County.
When Governor Justice took office, there was an excess of $200 million worth of repairs that needed to be done. Over the past 4 years, we have taken on numerous projects, but still a lot more needs to be done. The roofs on our correction facilities are entering their 30 and 40-year cycle. They have been repaired numerous times, and we need to start fixing those roofs. If we do not start attacking these problems, the problems will come back and hurt us because of additional issues such as black mold and other type health issues. The Anthony Correctional Center is located in Greenbrier County, West Virginia. The facility in 2015, it was observed that they were having water problems, and that water problems led to mold and other HVAC issues. Over the past 4 years, the legislators have given us $15 million. We've used $500,000 of that for engineering studies. If we could get the $15 million, that would give us a balance of $29,500,000, which we could rebuild the facility.
$1.2 million is being requested for the First Responders Death Fund.
The first responder bill was passed years ago to help first responders who died in the line of duty. The past year, obviously due to COVID, we have had an increase in the number of deaths from our heroes who responded, obtained the COVID, and passed away from the COVID. So the fund is now almost zero, and we need that money to make sure that the families of these heroes are taken care of.
Included in the governor's list of initiatives is $2.1 million toward making improvements at the State Culture Center, Wheeling's Independence Hall, and Camp Washington Carver. Curator of Arts Randall Reed Smith plans to not only make needed basic upgrades to the facilities, but also to honor those lost in the pandemic with a memorial garden.
So why don't we talk about what we need to do here in this building?
Okay.
With the HVAC, let's talk about the HVAC.
Talk about the HVAC.
We put it in 22 years ago. Go ahead, Mark.
Okay. There's several projects that we have in place for that. One of them is the changing out of the insulation in the air handlers on 3rd floor. The reason why we're doing that is because after 22 years in a heavily moisture-laden environment, it does have a service life and it does need to be changed out from periodically. And so this particular insulation is at the end of its service life, and is why we're replacing it.
Now let's talk about the manual switch that goes from substation to substation. It was put in this building in 1974, and we desperately need to get it to an automatic switch. Can you explain that?
The reason why we're doing that is because this building is serviced by 2 AEP substations. One is a Greenbrier and the other one is a Piedmont substation. And a manual switch is not safe in that you have to basically operate it manually with all kinds of arc flash protection gear, in addition to the fact that it is, dated from 1974. The advantage of an automatic system is it can operate unattended and will do an instant switch from one substation to the other to pick up power from the other substation if it's required.
Governor Justice is also requesting $17.5 million to replenish the governor's contingency fund, which was critical in West Virginia's swift and nation-leading response to the COVID-19 pandemic. While federal relief dollars will likely reimburse West Virginia's emergency spending during this time, the pandemic response highlighted the need for a strong contingency fund to allow the state to take quick action during times of emergency.
We have a great opportunity with travel and tourism in West Virginia. We've already seen great gains over the last 4 years, but if we keep investing, I think we can grow even further. I want to thank the governor and the legislature for all the support we've received. The governor gave us some huge goals 4 years ago to really take tourism to the next level. We've done that and we're seeing great returns, but let's not stop now. Let's keep going.
The West Virginia Department of Homeland Security would like to thank the governor's leadership and our legislators' leadership during the past, let's just say, year and a half during the pandemic. While many people were working from home, I think it's important them to know that the employees of the Department of Homeland Security did not have that luxury. We had to be on the job 24/7, and we appreciate any assistance that they can give us during this special session with the budget surplus.
So it is a rare opportunity when the legislators and the governor have worked so well that we have a surplus. And this is an opportunity that we can truly fix things, make things better. As the governor says, get her right.
It is the time to do this, and if we miss this opportunity, we should be eternally sorry for that, because this is a moment in history when the rest of the world and the nation and other business opportunities are looking to West Virginia as a potential to locate, expand, and grow their businesses. And it's one thing to say we're getting new businesses here, but there's a person behind every job. There's a family behind every one of those jobs, and a job is more than a paycheck. It's work, it's dignity, it's self-respect, and it's the type of society we want to create in West Virginia. So the time is waiting. It's waiting for you to act right now.